Hello everyone, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Now, I'd like to start this episode off by letting you all know that there may or may not be a slight change in this episode. I kind of wanted to show this game to my friend Jack and my other good friend Timber, so if they decide to join, bear in mind that their reactions and their concentration on the game might not be the same as mine. And as you already know, everyone is different, so certain things about the game may be said in a different manner from me. Jack likes to be, the practical jokester. I like to, be very focused and observant. So, if that's not really your cup of tea, and you pretty much already played the game, I know you'd want to hear my reactions, but I'm not really the only main one to be focusing on here, because it would feel kind of unfair. And it's understandable if you're not used to the same kind of people I've been around. Now, I'm just letting you all know this because, a lot of people nowadays tend to not like change, but it's kind of just how I roll. After all, the viewers don't really determine the episodes. I do. But I kind of wanted to get that out of the way because I wanted to be considerate for people who might have gone into this thinking it was probably just going to be me in here. And hey, who knows? Maybe it might only be me for the most part, but if my friends do decide to join, I figured I'd let you all have an advance warning ahead of time. With that being said, let's begin. Alright, minor update. Timber is currently carving pumpkins, and Jack is watching a video, so it looks like it's just gonna be you and I for a while. Also, if you hear my fan in the background, I had to turn it up a notch because it was balls hot. Well, not balls hot, but it was pretty hot earlier. Which I'm surprised about considering, it's October and usually, it would be cooler, but I guess today it was just a hot day. The moon? No, it is you who should gaze upon the moon, or it will be the last moon you ever see. That rocked! See you in hell, evil magistrate. Whoa, stop waving that broom around. Oh, Nick, I didn't know you were here. Of course I'm here. What was that serial show you were watching? What? Nick, you mean you don't know the Steel Samurai? He's only the most popular TV hero for young people. Like, how young? 10 years old? Then what the heck are you doing getting all excited? Hey, I'm only 17. That's 17, see? I'm a teen. Not like you, Nick. Hey, don't talk to me like I'm your grandpa or something. I'm only 24 myself. And watch it with me, it's really cool. And it's really popular. When they asked grade school kids what they wanted to be, Steel Samurai was #1. I really worry about kids these days. Ramps. Well, Steel Samurai's over. I guess it's time to close up the office. I guess. Wish we had some clients. A month has passed since my trial. Mia's murder was the talk of the town for some time, but no one paid any attention to the Wright & Co. law offices. How am I gonna pay the rent this month? It'll be okay. I'm sure some big client is just around the corner. 2 days later. Nick? Maya? What? It's still early. It's the Steel Samurai. The Steel Samurai got arrested. Huh? You mean the guy on that show? Yes. They're saying that the Steel Samurai killed a villain. Isn't that what he's supposed to do? Yeah, on TV. Yeah, on TV. No, I mean, he actually did it. In real life. He skewered a villain with a samurai spear. I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Just come to the office, quick. Please, Nick. Oh, jeez. Maya's here, watching television. Now for the movie news. The actor Will Powers was arrested yesterday. Powers played the lead role in the popular kids show The Steel Samurai, Warrior of New Tokyo. He was arrested on suspicion of murder. The victim was Jack Hammer, who plays a villain known as Evil Magistrate. His body was found still inside the Evil Magistrate costume. A samurai spear was also found stuck through the body. Police believe this was a murder weapon and are investigating further. This has to be a joke. No, it's a nightmare. The Steel Samurai is over. The world is over. Oh. Yes? Wright and Cola offices. What? Nick? It's the Steel Samurai. What? Yes, of course. We'll be right there. Oh boy. Let's go, Nick. Go? Go where? They had the Steel Samurai down in detention. So what? So, I've decided this will be our first case. I mean, it's better than nothing, right? Well, what should we do? What should we do? How can you just sit there like that? We have to get down to the detention center and meet the Steel Samurai. Does she want to investigate this case or just do some sightseeing, I wonder? My money's on sightseeing. We don't have enough information to make a case yet. Just admit it. You don't have a clue what happened. No, we just don't have enough information. She's either trying to make it grow or she's perfecting her water torture technique. That's like a popular torture method in Japan. Oh. There's a horrendous amount of legal books here. Scarier still is the thought that I have to read all these now. Well, you know, Mia's desk. Actually, it's my desk now. Sitting here always makes me feel like a professional. a little angry look. Okay. October 16th. Whoa. What's wrong, Maya? It's him, in the flesh. Is that guy really him? What do you mean, that guy? Of course it's him. Will Powers, our client. That's him. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but he definitely did it. Murder. At least once. Maybe twice. Whoa, what are you saying? Yes? Something wrong? No? She's getting off to a great start. I know. You're disappointed, aren't you? Disappointed? Oh, no. No, it's okay. This is the real me. When I got the part of the Steel Samurai with that mask, I decided I would never show my face in public until the job was over. It's the kid, you know? I didn't want to wreck their dreams. Oh. I guess it didn't matter. So much for dreams. I wonder what they think of the Steel Samurai now. samurai is. Look, how could you say such a thing? I'm sorry, sir. I apologize to my partner. He's new to this and a bit out of touch with the world. Hey, who's new to this? Who's new to this? No, it's alright, really. The Steel Samurai is the lead character in a popular kids show. He walks the streets of Neo-Old Tokyo, fighting battle after battle against the evil magistrate and his minions. Of course, he never really defeats the evil magistrate, although I guess he did defeat him this time. I see. Neo-Old Tokyo. Who comes up with these names? I really do like the fact that instead of just being serious all the time, they actually throw in the fact that Phoenix is rather, I guess, dismissive of this whole thing, which it really does add a touch of flair to his character, because a lot of the times you might see a lawyer try to be, very professional and strict and such, but we're given one of the most wild cases, and, well, it's nice to see that Phoenix is just as confused and bewildered and somewhat against it as realistically any person would be. So very nice touch of character. Maybe you could start by telling us what happened? Yes, of course. It seems like it was only yesterday. Actually, it was only yesterday. The cast had come down to Global Studios for a run-through. We went through a few action sequences at 10 that morning. There was a rehearsal scheduled for 5 in the afternoon. But when 5 came around and the staff gathered at the studio, the evil magistrate was found lying in a crumpled heap near the set. They took off his mask and discovered that it was Jackhammer, dead. He had been expertly skewered with the samurai spear. The samurai spear? Yes, it's a long spear that the Steel Warrior Samurai uses as a weapon. Now, where were you on the day of the murder? Well, that morning I came to the studios at 9. We worked through some action scenes until noon. Rehearsal was to begin at 5, but I was a little tired. So after lunch I took a nap in my dressing room. When I woke up, it was after 5. I was late for the rehearsal. When I woke up, it was after 5. I was late for the rehearsal. I hurried to the studio and found everyone looking shocked. They arrested me on the spot and brought me here. So he was sleeping the entire afternoon of the murder. Some action hero. What will the kids think? I think I should probably check out the scene of the murder. Okay, well. Can you imagine? Just because, you're like one of the lead characters that goes against another character, they automatically think that you're the murderer, just because you were the most associated with that other person. Like, wow. Like, I can definitely understand, like, I can understand why he would be suspect number 1, but even still, he arrived after everyone found Jackhammer dead. Now, for all we know, he could have, like, for all we know, people could think he did the murder, he left, he slept in. But then again, he mentioned that rehearsals, they did the action scene at 9, I believe. They went until noon. Will Powers went to sleep, overslept, came back, and Jackhammer was dead. So either there's some missing details in the part where he slept, or obviously someone else committed the murder. But we're just gonna have to find out what really happened. Alright, so just to get you caught up to speed, the case I'm currently taking is there's this popular TV show called The Steel Samurai.
I know, but I know. I have the game. I believe I'm on the exact same case right now, actually.
Well, you didn't have to cut me off.
I told you before that earlier. You're like, oh hey, I played a game. I'm on a thing where it's like something to do with the samurai. I was like, oh yeah, it's Steel Samurai.
Hold on. No, fucker. You said Silver Samurai.
Silver Samurai, Steel Samurai, same thing, close enough. It was a metal and a samurai. I knew what I was doing. It was close. Very close. I should read that game. I've been wanting to play it again anyway. This just gives me an excuse.
Wow. So this is where they make the Steel Samurai show. Awesome. Aren't you excited? Hey, you there. You want in, you gotta get through me.
Oh, hey, it's Old Bag.
Oh,
I love
sorry.
Old Bag.
We're, lawyers. Oh, yeah? Well, that's great. I'm security. And it's my job to make sure that gawkers like you stay out. Gawkers? Gawkers, sightseers, tourists. I know the type. You heard about the incident and came to snoop around. Youths today. Something horrible happens and all you think is, okay, you're rambling.
She does ramble, but she actually gives really insightful information as well.
Oh my god, is she a boomer?
Yes, she's a boomer.
Oh god. Well, I prefer her over...
One of my favorite characters too. She's hilarious.
I prefer her over April May, I'll be honest.
Is April May?
The girl who was, like, working with the Red White, and she had a very, very nasty, angry side. She was in the first case? Or the second case?
That's the chick who,
She wiretapped Maya's phone?
Yeah. And isn't she also the one that, like, little dude?
You're kind of cutting in and out.
I said, didn't she, like, kill a dude? I can't remember. Or did she help someone kill a person? And then you're like, hey, she guilty as fuck, Lamau. She got, like, who you're talking about, because I remember that the bellboy was part of
Jack, you're still cutting in and out a bit.
Okay, what to tell you?
I think your internet's being a little fucky-wucky. Unless it's me, but actually it's probably me. Will I grow up to be like her? Please say no. I don't know. It's possible. Hey! Listen when you're being spoken to. Youths today. Jeez. What a grouch. My favorite bit so far is when I have to really think outside the box to get around someone's lies.
Man, you just... Oh yeah, definitely. That's really fun. So where's the stream?
Oh. Looks like a studio van. They probably use it to carry around film equipment. The main entrance to the studio. There was a big scene here yesterday with onlookers pressing up against the gate.
Spooky. Did you play?
What?
Here. So you played Spooky. Did you play all of Spooky or just the main story?
I played all of it. The main story and the DLC.
Nice.
An overhead map of studios. Right from here is the employee area. To the left are the actual film studios. And if you can look over here, you can see the bloodstains from the murder scene. Sorry, go on. computer that runs the studio security cam. Jesus God! Don't fucking... This woman, I swear to God. The security guard station. The security lady must like junk food. There's a mountain of it on the desk in there. I can see the computer that runs the security cameras. Well, she must do something to burn off all those calories if she has that much junk food. I am willing to bet that she did it. And although I have no evidence to support this, the fact that she's very snappy and very grouchy, and I mean, when you have a boomer, you probably don't really understand younger kids shows, so you'd be like, kids today, with all their Doors the Explorers and their Team Zoomy Yoomy. Of course, again, I have no evidence to support this, but you never know. Even the most jarring people can be the most wild. Can you tell me about Mr. Will Powers? He's not a bad kid, but don't be fooled by his mask. You wouldn't want him on that silver screen without it, believe me. Little old ladies watching would lose their lunch. That's probably why he thought that the Steel Samurai was his big chance. No one thought he was capable of doing what he did to poor Jackhammer. We don't know for certain that Will Powers is guilty. Powers? Of course he's guilty. How do I know? I know everything. That's my job. So, what do you do here at the studios? At Global Studios, we make children's dreams come true. In fact, in my younger days... No? You were a star? Only a little twinkle between the stars here, I'm afraid, dearie. Wow. This place has really gone downhill, you know? But 10 years ago, now that was a studio of dreams. Hammer was a big star back then too, he was. Hammer? The victim, dummy. The evil magistrate. He's been reduced to playing villains now. Not exactly the best material to work with. What kind of person was Jack Hammer? What kind of person? Oh, if you only knew. Jack Hammer will live on in many hearts as the ultimate action hero. He was simply dashing in the Dynamite Samurai series. Should I have heard of that? But there was an accident during filming 5 years ago. He got unlucky break after that. Reduced to playing the villain on a children's program. What's more, I heard they were paying him peanuts. It's enough to make you cry. Wow, that is the shittiest salary I've ever heard.
Not actual peanuts, because they don't pay him very much.
Oh. Why are you so certain Mr. Powers is the killer? I was standing right here yesterday, I was here from 1 in the afternoon to 5 when they found the body. Now the studio where the murder took place is to the left here. So if you want to go to the studio, you have to pass by me. You know, awfully funny considering that Will Powers was asleep during that time, Missy. Only one person went by there between 1 and 2:30 when the murder took place. And that person was Mr. Powers. Yes, I saw him. But Mr. Powers says he was sleeping in his dressing room. Oh, I'm sure he would say that. He's no fool. But he was the only one that walked by. He's the killer, you can bet your biscuits on it. Isn't it about time for you to be heading home? There's nothing to see here. Move along. Actually, we're here at Mr. Powers' request. I thought you were suspicious looking. Show me a letter of request, and maybe I'll just let you in. This lady here thinks she owns the place, obviously. Alright. Well, it's, hello, how was the studio? They all think I did it, don't they? No, not at all. Isn't that right, Nick? Right, not at all. At worst, you're a suspect. About the security guard at the main gate to the studio. Oh, the security lady? She's terrible. She called me suspicious looking. Yes, actually, she said the same thing to me before. Take off that mask, were her words, I believe. She sucks up to all the bigwigs in the studio. But let her see you stumble once and she'll never let up on you. She's got some nerve. Do you think you could write up a letter formally requesting my representation? Of course. Aha! I just hope this will get me past the security lady. Mr. Powers, you aren't hiding anything from me, are you? What? No, I'd never do that. Earlier you said that you were sleeping in your dressing room after lunch. Yes, like a baby. But the security lady says she saw you that day. She said she saw you heading toward the scene of the crime. What? That's not possible. I really don't know what to say. I was sleeping, I promise. Mr. Powers, if you want me to help you, you have to tell me the truth. I'm new to this lawyer business, and I need every advantage I can get. I know. I'm sorry. I swear to you, on my mama's grave, I was sleeping. Maybe the security lady only thought she saw me. What did she see? He doesn't seem to be lying. He's also making direct eye contact, and as we know, liars tend to avoid eye contact, or their body starts to shift, or they start sweating profusely, or they start repeating questions asked to buy themselves time to think up a lie. He doesn't seem to be doing any of that, so I'm willing to assume he actually is, in fact, telling the truth. Because, as we know, these games make these characters act very expressively, and he genuinely seems to be a more honest kind of guy. Plus, I mean, what kind of liar would... what kind of liar would think of the hearts of children? This guy cares for what they think of their beloved hero. So, I absolutely am willing to bet, for the moment, I say, for the moment, that he's being honest. Anyways, let's go show this old bitch this, letter of representation. Ma'am, have a look at this. It's a letter of request from Mr. Powers. Yes, I recognize the bold, childish scrawl. To think he would entrust his fate to youths of such unreliable appearance. Really? Really? Anyway, you may pass. But only left from here toward the studios. No going to the right. That's the employee area. No one allowed inside, pal, were my instructions. The good detective told me himself. Hey, Nick. Huh? There were maps in the security guard station. Hey, not bad. Oh, way to go. Those are 50 cents apiece, thank you. Seriously? You charge for these? Well, time to go, Nick. 50 cents! Alright, so we're near the main gate. Studio 1 and Studio 2, okay. Wait, hold up. He did say he was asleep in the dressing room. Oh. Hey, aren't you that murderer from the other day? Ah! It's that confused detective. Hey pal, you know Prosecutor Edward is all upset, and it's your fault. I saw him sipping tea and staring gloomily out the window. So? Hey! If he's depressed, it's all your fault for doing sloppy detective work. She's got a point, you know. Remember what happened in the last case? Detective? I think you hurt his feelings. Oh no, I'm sorry. Well, I think his feelings are easily hurt. You're right, pal. It's all my fault. I can blame other people all I want, but I know the truth in my heart. Hey, don't take it so hard. There's always the next case. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Hey, what exactly are you two doing here? Well, we're on this case too, pal. Oh, hey, you can't just go around saying pal like that. That's my endearing character trait. That's my endearing character trait. Hey Jack, have I mentioned how much I fucking love the writing in this game?
Oh, it's amazing.
I'd say he's a character, alright. really makes me wonder how its evaluation went after the last case. Can't imagine it went too well. Let's see what we got. Hey, there's a camera here. That's a security camera. It takes photos of people going to the studio. Oh, that could come in handy later. All you have to do is look at the data and you can see who went where. There's a number plate on the camera. STI 307. That must be the camera ID number. I'll have to keep that in mind. I'm a little bush. Maybe I'll take a short rest here. Hey, good idea, Val. Detective, aren't you on the case? Well, yeah, but... Hey, us detectives get tired of standing around too, Val. Studio mascot. I guess it's a monkey of some kind. But what kind of monkey has a nose like that? He's holding a sign in his hand. Right to Studio 1, left to Studio 2. What's up with that thing? It looks kind of busted. It looks like a child's attempt at making Humpty Dumpty combined with a Teletubby. Oh, the wind was pretty strong yesterday and the head broke off. It took that tree down with it too. Jesus God. I'd say it did the studio a favor. I can't imagine walking into the studio and seeing that thing staring at me. Detective Gumshoe, what's down the path to the left? Looks like a tree fell down over the path. Oh, yeah. That way it's kinda dangerous. You should stay out, pal. There's nothing down there, anyway. That's where Studio 2 used to be, they tell me. They don't use it now, though. I'm betting money that that's where the, one of the older incidents took place. The entrance to Studio 1. This is the studio where they found Jack Hammer's body. Let's go in and check it out, Nick. I love how corny they make the names sound, but they sound real enough. Hey, it's locked. Looks like you need a card key to get in. It makes sense that they would want to keep the non-employees out. Well, that's a major oof. There's a big welcome sign above the path. Yeah, apparently the studio's fallen on tough times. They started letting people in on days they aren't filming. They make a bit of extra money by charging for admission. Huh, you sure know a lot about this place, detective. You know, you could always quit being a detective and work here? Yeah, and what perfect timing with the studio mascot down for the count. Oh, just what's that supposed to mean, pal? So, how is your investigation going, detective? Well, it's... Hey, I can't tell you that, pal. Nick, maybe you need to be a little more indirect with your questions. Right. So, detective, mind if I take a look at what you got? What I got? The autopsy report. The latest version, if you please. Ah, I love that. Call back to the last case. I remember because initially we got an outdated one. I'm glad Phoenix remembered to mention the latest version. Oh, even that. Sorry about what happened last week, pal. Autopsy report added. Sweet. Let's take a little look-see. Time of death, October 15th at 2:30 p.m. Caused pierced through the chest by a spear. Yeah. Makes you wonder what organ was punctured. Why was Mr. Powers arrested? Simple, pal. The murder took place right over there in Studio 1. Now, the victim entered Studio 1 at approximately 1 p.m. At that time, there was no one other than the victim in the studio. According to the autopsy report, the time of death was 2:30 p.m. Only one person went to the studio between 1 and 2:30. And that person was none other than Will Powers. No one else, pal. If you think I'm lying, ask the security lady at the main gate. Nick, if that's true, anyone would think that Powers did it with that kind of evidence. Thanks for cheering me up. About the security lady. Oh, that sweet old lady? What a charmer. Huh? Are we talking about the same person? When I showed her my badge, she gave me a donut and some coffee. Remember what Powers said? She's a sucker for authority. She even gave me a piece of valuable evidence. What? Oh. What kind of evidence? Well, that, photo. The photo of the steel samurai heading toward the scene of the crime. What? Who took that? See the camera up on that gate, pal? The gate? You mean the one with the welcome sign? Yeah. Whenever someone walks by, that camera automatically snaps a photo of them. Oh no! Nick, he has evidence. We're finished. Funny. For someone with hard proof, he doesn't look too happy. What's wrong, pal? You seem down. Don't look so happy when you say that. Oh. We'd like to ask the employees here some questions. Sure thing, pal. Go wherever you like. Of course, you're not going to find any clues I haven't already. I'm glad someone around here seems to be enjoying themselves. Nick, let's go. We've got a free pass to the place. Now's our chance to check things out. It took me a bit to figure out why everyone keeps calling him Nick. I think it's because it's like short for Phoenix, I believe.
If I remember correctly, his name is Nick something.
Oh.
It might just be. Wait, let me see. I'll look it up and I'll tell you. That is why they call him Nick.
I guess all cops like their donuts. Yeah, and they're soft enough she doesn't need teeth to chew them. Hey, you! Well, are you satisfied Powers is guilty yet? She had to make my life harder by giving that photo to Detective Gumshoe. So, showing her authority, huh? Well, miss. What's that? You giving that to me? Absolutely not. Oh, well. Photographic proof. Why didn't you tell us about the security photo, ma'am? Oh, that? I just thought it would be more thrilling to talk with the detective himself. These things are important, you know. Oh, just to the left from here is the gate with the camera that took that photo. It's my job to check the photos every day, you see. This guard station is an essential position. No matter where you go here, you pass by my station first. Now, poor Hammer, he went to the studio just before 1. The murder happened right around 2:30, see? The only one I seen go through here between 1 and 2:30 was Powers himself. The security camera got a good look at him, too. If he's not the one that did it, I don't know who is. So, there's something that's bothering me about this logic. Even if Powers was the one who was seen going into the studio, we don't know what happened in the room where the murder itself took place. For all we know, Hammer could have ended himself. Maybe it was you? Good one, Sonny. She thinks I was joking. Was the victim, Mr. Hammer, a popular actor? Oh, he was the biggest star in the studio. Was? Past tense? Oh, yes. He was as great as the bearded samurai. That too, yes. He's shown the brightest, back in the day. Making a star like him play the evil magistrate? It's a disgrace, I tell you. Hammer took it pretty hard, and who can blame him? About the security camera. Oh yes, the camera. It's automatic. It can tell when someone walks through the gate, see? Then it snaps a photo. Apparently it records the time when it takes a picture too. But I don't bother myself with those details. I just view all the photos on the computer over in the security guard station. I check them every day before going home, I do. You know, I would think checking the timestamp for that photo would be very crucial evidence. Anything more? Nick, this is where they do all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Hey, look, there's Powers' dressing room. No one's here this soon after the murder, I guess. Let's take a look around. Right then. There's a sign by the dressing room door. Will Powers. It must be neat to be the star and have your own room like this. A window into the dressing room. The glass is frosted so I can't see inside. Nice detail. Let's see. Cola, candy, chips, gum. Huh. It's so normal. I was expecting some cool theme snacks or something. Popcorn at least. Wait, look! Samurai soda! Nick, try this. Ladies first. Huh. That must be the storage room. That's where they keep all the film equipment. Wow, Nick, you know a lot about the industry. What else would they keep in a film studio? The door to the dressing room. It's not locked. Hey Nick, let's take a look inside. Maybe we can find something as a souvenir. What do you mean, find? You never know. There might be something like the samurai spear. We don't need a spear. And that's the murder weapon for crying out loud. Not to mention, we do not need our fingerprints on it because that would just complicate matters even more. Oh, what's this? The remains of yesterday's lunch are scattered around. Everyone was probably too shocked to clean up. There's a T-bone on one of the plates, minus the steak. T-bone steak. That would have hit the spot. You just had a burger. Yeah, but I have a second stomach just for steaks. What? Well, that's certainly something. Oh. Well, hold on. What is this? The metal grate on the drain here has been taken off. That's a pretty big drain. A kid could fit through there, I bet. Yeah, if you snuck in that way, you wouldn't have to pay at the gate. Well, if you want to leave that way, be my guest. Right. Hey, I'm not a kid. The grate that you used to cover the drain. It's a little bent. I don't think it would fit if I tried to put it back on. Interesting. There's a half-finished backdrop for a stage here. Looks like a castle. Probably neo-old Tokyo castle. Looks like one of those electric-powered bicycles. I don't know about these. I mean, what's the point? It makes it a lot easier to go up hills. Don't people cycle to get exercise? Yeah, that's true. Anything more? I guess not. Powers' dressing room. So this is where he was sleeping. Or at least, this is where he claims he was sleeping. No one actually saw him taking a nap here, did they? Right, and there's a picture of him near the crime scene. I hope he's telling the truth. For his sake. Looks like someone was sleeping here. Maybe Powers did take a nap here yesterday. There's a bunch of snacks on the table. They must get these to the employees. Some tea and cookies. Nick, I'm hungry. You just had a burger. Yeah, but I have a separate stomach for sweets. How many stomachs does this girl have? This must be Powers' bag. Hey, don't open that. Look, an employee card key. That must be Powers'. It says Studio 1. Let's take it, Nick. Borrow it. You mean borrow. Definitely. There's a vast array of cosmetics here. Oh, this is the wig he used in Samurai Boogie Woogie. Nick, try this on. No. And how can you tell the name of a show just by looking at a wig? I, kinda like samurai movies. Kinda? God, is she just gonna be fangirling the whole time? They always have mirrors like this in the dressing rooms. I see my hair is still nice and spiky, just how I like it. There's some regular suits among the costumes here. Those must be his own clothes. It'd be fun to wear one of the costumes. I'd say you were already wearing one myself. Oh. I wonder what else is inside Powers' bag. Stop that! My partner, the thief in training. Mia. It's locked. Looks like he doesn't open his window much. I guess it is kind of dusty outside. The entrance to Studio 1. This is the studio where they found Jack Hammer's body. Let's go in and check it out, Nick. I wonder if this card key we borrowed from the dressing room will work. It opened! Alright, we're in! She's way too happy for someone visiting a crime scene. Well, let's see what's inside Studio 1. What is it? You're real quiet all of a sudden. Doesn't it give you the shivers, Nick? That white tape, it's so real. Well, the evil magistrate did die here, and the steel samurai killed him. The murderer weapon was the samurai spear. Sounds pretty real to me. They outlined where Jack Hammer's body lay with tape. His body was found still inside the evil magistrate costume. I guess that's why the head part looks like a helmet. Funny, I expected a spear stabbing would leave at least a few bloodstains. I guess the costume must have absorbed most of it. Look, a ladder! That's a step ladder. So, what's the difference? You need to stop judging things based on narrow-minded cultural assumptions, Nick. Right, sorry. This girl is out there! Wow, look at that camera. That must cost a ton. Yeah, so don't touch it. Whoa, it's heavier than I thought. Hey, you, no touching that. Ah, sorry, my partner is kind of, you know? No, I don't know. Who are you? Who, me? I'm an assistant here. I help with props and stuff, moving them around, ordering new ones, etc. We're lawyers representing Mr. Will Powers. Oh, you're WP people. WP? Oh, Will Powers. WP, I get it. I don't envy you guys one bit, but do what you can for WP, okay? He'd never hurt a fly. He has to be innocent. Don't worry, leave it to us. Could you tell me anything about the day of the murder? Yes, I was in the studio the whole day. I was the only assistant on staff that day, you see. Only one assistant? Yes, well, the studios isn't doing so well right now. And yesterday was only rehearsal for our action sequences. Oh, I see. In the morning, we went through the action sequences in the employee area. WP and Hammer were there, along with everyone else. The employee area. That's where Powers' dressing room is, right? Yes, that's the place. After eating lunch there, Mr. Hammer went to Studio 1. Then I saw WP go into his dressing room. But I didn't see either of them after that. I did notice that it seemed like what looked like a spear, the head seemed to break off. Did you know that Mr. Powers was sleeping in his room? No, I wouldn't go in there unless I had some urgent message for him. I mean, it's his private... What kind of a girl do you think I am? What kind? No. I'm sure you're a fine girl. Sorry. So much for getting a confirmation of Powers' alibi. What do we do, Nick? We haven't found anything. WP was the only one who came to the studio, then he has to be the killer. They even have a photograph. Sorry, I know you're busy. Not really. Actually, there's been something bothering me. Aha! That's what I'm talking about. A clue. A lead. Well, I don't know about that, but that day, just after noon, I sensed someone was here. Sensed? Yes, several times. Some other studio employees, maybe? No, I don't think so. The only thing we had scheduled was an action scene run-through. I was the only assistant here that day. I have a feeling it was someone from outside. Really? But wait, if someone had come in here, wouldn't that security lady have noticed them? Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry I don't have any better information than that. No, thanks. That helps us a lot. Anything helps. Let's go put that security lady on the spot. So you sense that someone other than the regular film crew is in the studio? Yes. I think doesn't cut it in a witness testimony. Nick, what about that security lady? If someone else came into the studio, she must have seen them. Mayhaps. Can I present anything? Any thoughts about this? Sorry, I don't really want to think too much about what happened just yet. Understandable. Hey, look! That's the chair the director sits in. I've always wanted to sit in one of these. Hey Nick, take a look at that! One of those black and white boards they clap at the start of filming. And look, a megaphone! A real-life megaphone! Ready, Nick? Action! This girl is more trouble than I thought. What's this? That's for reflecting light. They call it a reflecting screen or something like that. The assistant holds it during filming. Huh. What? Where's your enthusiasm for all things entertainment? Well, lighting is fine, but I'd want it to be the director. Or maybe the Steel Samurai. I think she's being serious. No kidding. Wow, look at that camera. Oh, wait. Okay, I just had to do that again. Looks like a backdrop for a stage. This must be used in the Steel Samurai show. Of course! That's a mountain near Fujiyama. Doesn't the Steel Samurai take place in Old Tokyo? Can you even see Mount Fuji from there? Not Old Tokyo, Nick. Neo-Old Tokyo. Oh, right. God, that sounds so silly. Neo-Old Tokyo. What? You're still here? Really? You look as though you've seen a ghost. What? I saw that suspicious look on your face. I wanted to ask you again about yesterday. You came here at 1 p.m., correct? And the estimated time of Hammer's death was 2:30. Are you sure that Powers was the only one to go through here between those times? Sure as can be. But we have a witness who thinks there was someone from outside here that day. What? Are you absolutely sure you were here watching the whole time? Ma'am? Who was it? Who told you that? Who dares question me? Alright, you better tell me quick, you spiky-eared cretin. Someone's been complaining about the work I do, eh? We were just talking to the assistant in Studio One. Her! She's not even a full-time employee! All you youngins are like that nowadays, running your mouths like there was no tomorrow, saying this and that and the other thing. Well, oh my god. Oh, I thought she collapsed. Well, Nick, this is our chance to do what we can without her looking over our shoulders. Abso-fucking-lutely. The computer that runs the studio security cameras. Nick, maybe we can see that photo of Powers with this computer. Yeah, maybe. Should I try the computer? Yes. You know how to work these things, Nick? Looks like I just have to enter in a few numbers. Let's see, first I need the date of the murder. It looks like the camera turned on at 1 p.m. that day. That was when the security lady arrived at the guard station. Was it STI 307? Oh, STI 370. There, entered. $307? Hey, it printed out the data for that day. Let's see what we got. Huh? How is this a picture of Will Powers? Well, he is the one who always wears that suit. I guess that's why the security lady thought it was him. I don't imagine the detective was very happy with this photo as evidence. Something's printed on the back. October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Wait. No, not that. Death at 2:30 p.m. Maybe there's more photo data from that day. Nope, that's the only one in the computer. Huh. Hey, Nick! Can't we use this photo as evidence for the trial? Yeah. We'll put that security lady in her place with this. Right, we'll put her in her place. Hey, that's nice said. Anyway, let's show her this photo and see what she says. Wait, let's not. Why not? It's never a good idea to reveal your hand to the enemy too soon. Nick, you're craftier than I gave you credit for. Why, you could be the next evil magistrate. Hey, why do I have to be the villain? Relax, it was just a joke. So, are we done for today? I would say yes. I think this photo is what we needed for the trial. Still, it'd be better if we had some idea who the real killer was. Maybe it really is a security lady. Now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, the opening statement, please. Hey, Jack, you want to know something kind of interesting? Jack? The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer and Studio One at Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well. I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well. I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station there is a gate, see? Past that of the studio. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. Yep. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case, in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to that whole thing again? Nah, I think I'm good. I think I can probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Ooh, your name, please. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please. St. Edward has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. I love Oldbag. Wendy Oldbag. Wait.
Her last name is just Oldbag. It's hilarious.
I'm hearing this as Windy Oldbag, which is even more funny.
Windy Oldbag. That's the joke.
I do so love shit like this. Also, I wanted to say earlier, you want to know what was actually pointed out to me? What? All the people, like, when the screen moves back and forth between the defendant and the accused and all that, that's actually supposed to be the judge looking between the different people talking. So just call me Grandma. It's practically my... Oh, okay, you're rambling again.
Objection!
I object to the witness's talkativeness. Also, I think she's a boomer. Oh, I really would hope they actually call her that at least once. That would be the cherry on the cake.
Such a way.
Yeah. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. Oh, if only you had control over that. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yes, I was. And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you. You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio. You saw the defendant then. Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Alright, let's have a look-see. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Right then, You're right. So the murder was at 2:30 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30. A certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. We're going to start with the elephant in the room, because as we know, the photo I gathered did not show Powers, but it did show someone in that suit.
Hold it!
So you saw Mr. Powers. That's what I said. Got wax in your ears, Sonny? Nick, this is your chance. Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon. I'll say it again. It was him. Well then, I think you're going to have to explain this.
Objection!
You want to know what other detail was pointed out that I realized is really helpful? The music actually stops when you actually choose the right evidence.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight, old bag. Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? I know. But you're
Literally my favorite character, other than Butts.
I can see why. But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo.
Just a minute, Mr. Wright. You didn't give this to the testimony, bitch. Fucking chopped it. I ought to take your dick. Right on.
None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo-Old Tokyo. Miss Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right? No, they can't. Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers. Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. No one in this court is accusing you of that, Mrs. Not even he wants to say it. He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently. Gee, I wonder why. It sounds like an insult in of itself. However, you do not have proof that the person in the photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you? No, it's the old man. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised? The prosecution would like to ask the old... the witness. Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time. How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me, this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. Well, that's gumshoe for you. I mean, hell, he didn't even thoroughly check someone's phone for evidence, and that turned out to come in handy. Wow, old Windback has left even Edward speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof, then. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? There's Day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? So he had sprained his ankle. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. She's gotta be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. He broke one of the props. Well, which prop was it? He broke a prop? Sure did. His own samurai spear. His samurai spear. The murder weapon? Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it. I did see an image like that earlier that showed the spearhead snapped. Well, the head did. This strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down in the court record. It's the murder weapon. A break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. You can see he's dragging his leg. You know, it's odd to me that it doesn't seem like the person's legs reach all the way through the pant legs, so it had to have been someone a lot smaller. Find any glaring contradictions? Well, she seems pretty sure that that was Powers in the crime. I guess let's press her and see if I can shake her conviction. Are you absolutely sure? Let's take a look at that picture again. Yeah, see? He was walking strangely because he was injured. It does look like he was dragging his foot. See? And you didn't trust me, whippersnapper. Okay. Well, that confirms that. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained? Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch. Thus the nap. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked. Dragging his foot. Okay. Trip and fall? Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped to make it better for him, of course. You helped to make it better? I kissed it where it hurt. Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Yeah, let's. Where was the assistant then? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. You may continue your testimony. I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is... where is this Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. I have to admit, Edgeworth's, his, how do I describe it? His mockery of me is actually hilariously fitting for his character. He's just so smug. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Mr. Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please? No need to ask twice. Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Are you sure?
Objection!
The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let him have an edgy boy. Edgy boy? I love how even she's making Edgeworth uncomfortable. This woman is something else. Old Windbag sure has balls. Well, you know what I mean. Old Windbags have a way of skipping over important details after all. Or for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? Quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking that passed by at all. Nobody suspicious looking? Right.
Hold it!
What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention... How do you know that? Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything. I see Detective Gumshoe that shares his fellow officers' fondness for donuts.
Pumpkin bread.
Oh, hi. Wait. Okay, so that was... Yeah, it was closed at 2:30 p.m. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. The only person I saw go to the studio before them was Will Powers. I'm gonna give this a try.
Objection!
Aha! Gotcha! Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Yes, sirree, Sonny. So, whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture? And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Ooh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Know that on the back of the photo are printed the words, October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny. Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says, photo number 2. Photo number 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Very true, very true. Order, order! please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not one, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself. You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean. Can the witness explain this to the court? I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help? Ugh. Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper. Something the matter, Miss Oldbag? Ah, that's right. I just remembered something. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai. Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. Ah, I see. Your testimony, please. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny, I've only just remembered it. Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination. Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. Man, if only they'd labeled it the other whippersnapper, that would have been funny. Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? Huh? A fanboy. Fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
Objection!
Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. Aha, I've had a feeling that it was going to have something to do with that. And only someone like a small child could get in there. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside and, well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain? I told you they were freaks. Oh, and? They're kids. Children. Whippersnappers. Kids? So on the photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? Oh my god. Order. Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai, dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade. Oh yes, well we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him. A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade? There you go.
Your kitty's here.
She was sleeping next to me, I completely forgot she was.
Oh, that's cute.
She made like a little burp noise. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield a samurai sword. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy. Right, as I said, I didn't pay it much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. Got that right.
Alright, well. October 18th, that's the day I went to nod.
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a steel samurai costume. So where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick, what are we gonna do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right, and it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. Don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. Just so you know, Timber, they call him Nick because of the feed Nicks in his name.
Oh.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Willpowers. Mr. Edgeworth, we present the prosecution's thoughts on the matter. The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed the crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Willpowers. So, thing you should know about Miles Edgeworth, he always tries to go for the guilty verdict of whoever is suspected. And he plays his cards very seriously. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Angel, you're walking and your tail is brushing into my face. Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed murder?
Alright, good luck, Kayla. Ah, saving. Smart.
Let's see. The assistant girl said that she doesn't go in there unless she has to deliver an urgent message, but never did she say that the door was locked for her otherwise. But that still implies that she has access into that room. Not only that, it honestly couldn't have been the security lady. Oh, this is a tough one. It said she was... There's not a lot I can work off of this because I don't know much about the assistant girl or the grade school boy. I don't want to say that there was a security lady because she was there when the photo was printed out.
Well...
The grate near the studio. Here's the thing. The other photo that was removed, she did say it was perhaps of a grade school boy, but it very well could have also been the assistant girl, because she does directly help out with parts of the stage or the action scenes and everything. Oh god, okay. folks. High stakes are riding on this one. I would like to think that the person we should be thinking about is the assistant girl. When we talked to her, she said, I help with props and stuff, moving them around, ordering new ones, etc. And as we know, the samurai spear definitely counts as a prop. So, with someone having easy access to things like that, I think it's fair to bring her into questioning. Oh, this, I'm really fucking nervous. This is the best course of logic I could come up with, because we don't know anything about this third grade child.
You have it saved, you can always go back, right?
Yeah, I just don't know if it's going to restart to the beginning of the trial or to the point where I saved.
Because if it says that it's saved before the trial, it goes to before the trial.
What if I saved during a point during the trial?
If it's saved during the trial, it'll go back to that point in the trial.
Okay, good.
Objection!
If you're
Oh, I know
serious, you've got guts, Mr. Wright. Remember the photo. Wasn't the Steel Samurai a little lame? He was dragging his foot. But...
Yeah, that's not hard. It's easy. Just bad feeling time. Just keep going.
wasn't Powers
Right.
the one who twisted his ankle?
Again, just keep going. You'll see.
Remember the testimony concerning Powers' injury. Powers and poor Hammer were at the run-through. Oh, and me. What about the assistant? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backshots. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. The assistant knew nothing of Mr. Powers' injury. She could look the Steel Samurai look with that costume. But she couldn't walk the Steel Samurai walk. She wouldn't have limped.
You can go back.
No, you chose the right thing. I mean, it's not
Wait.
gonna penalize you.
Did I?
Oh, wait. Did you? No, I don't know.
think you did.
I did.
Whatever. So long as you... It doesn't really matter that much. Just so long... I mean, even if you get it completely removed, you can just restart.
You
Right
don't
back.
understand. When I get something wrong, I feel inexperienced.
Crazy. Almost as if you're not a lawyer.
I'm not, but like, you know me, Jack. I immerse myself into these things.
Phoenix is also a first-time lawyer, so... You're in there pretty well. You're in there pretty well, sir.
Suspects are between the grade school boy and the security lady. Only someone small could have gone into the, Only someone small could have gone into the studio where Will Powers was sleeping, because the grate only fits a small child, but we also know hardly anything about the small child, other than Old Bag describing them as a fanboy. But what reason would a fanboy have for doing such a thing? Not to mention, it's very clear that whoever was in that costume was small.
Security lady is the only one that really makes sense.
In what way?
about the injury.
Ah.
And she's smaller than him.
The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper. Order! Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you. Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth,
I love him.
Does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter?
I have a funny meme for you.
Well, this is intriguing.
Wright is so used to Edgeworth just trying to shoot him down. He's just so used to it. What is le meme?
Give me a second. I have found it. I'm going to send it to you right now.
The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something. What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. You know, every time he slams his hands down on the counter, I can feel it, and I love it.
I know.
The very same reason that makes Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one whose photo I erased. He's only a grade schooler, as you said. Second or third grade, wasn't it? That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That's scary impressive, actually. That boy is not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Oh, or is it because be nice to the kids and be mean to your elders day? Whippersnapper? I have proof. Proof? Indeed? Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder. There was mention earlier that a young grader could not be able to carry the spear.
Ah, obviously.
Take that!
Your Honor, the murder weapon was a samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The windbag. Speechless. This has gotta be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy. What was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. I love the fact that they either get it wrong or just don't want to say her name.
Exactly. It's so funny. Especially when they just give up and say, something Oldbag, Your Honor.
Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned. Well, looks like we've got some dirt to dig up. Wait a second! I'm not gonna just sit here while you run off barking off the wrong tree. Me! I'm talking! Oh, great, stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about. Oh, what?
I talked about it.
Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. Local studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're gonna go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now? Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
Witness the power of the old bag.
I'm gonna press you on that, because I want to know what that something was.
Hold it!
So you were told not to talk. That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwig, no less. Why didn't I hear about this? Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. Well, that didn't get very far. There were some other people.
Hold it!
Who were these people? Well, the director and the producer, for starters. The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course. Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it. So where were these people? The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime, and they had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer. The place that nobody ever used? Studio 2? There's a Studio 2? Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. Right, because there was a tree blocking the way. You go to the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was fallen over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions, but we'll continue just to be sure. It said they had nothing to do with it, see?
Hold it!
Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder. I know that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side. Bribery. Should've known. So you got your bonus and you still talked. Let me just be sure. They told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day.
Hold it!
So they were actually in the studio. Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they beat it before the cops came. I'll kill this woman, I swear it. I feel sorry for Edgeworth, almost. She really left him hanging on this one. Can you imagine being Edgeworth and having a woman like this as someone you're supposed to defend? And she's just...
The witness? Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Edgeworth. He's like supposed to be the stone cold professional, and this woman is slipping up like she's on an ice rink.
No, most of the stuff that they do in these games are not legal in the slightest in the court of law.
And they do this stuff during a trial.
Talking about Edgeworth and fucking Phoenix.
Oh.
This is the funniest part.
Hold it!
You're also not supposed to withhold information.
Oh, wait. Okay. I've already selected this one. Yeah, I think I've asked. I think I've pressed in on all I may need to know. Still, had a feeling that something would be up with Studio 2. Nobody ever really goes in there anymore. Well, at least that's what was assumed. The director and the producer and there's some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people who we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends today's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Wills Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. I'd feel even worse if this had some blemish on Edgeworth's record. I mean, yeah, the guy tries to get anyone. I know.
Like a fucking lion.
He reminds me a lot of Solgaleo. When I first saw this guy, I thought he was just Mr. Red White, but with a skin or a face transplant.
Bro, over here. Looks like a Red White.
The guy in the purple fancy suit who has, like, control over all the politicians and the police and all that, and who caused the murder of Maya.
I keep forgetting that his name is so stupid.
Red White of Blue Corp. Yep.
White and blue.
You know what's even funnier is, Mr. Gumshoe's first name is Dick, and I remember he was like, "Don't be calling me Dick, buddy," and then one of the other cops from off screen, "Hey Dick, don't just be standing around there, get to work."
Oh yeah, mind you, his name is Detective. He is a detective, so his official title and name is Detective Dick Gumshoe. Mind you, a dick and a gumshoe are both other names for detectives.
So, his name is basically Detective.
Yes, just like Montgomery from the series.
Oh my god.
I love Montgomery. He was such an interesting character.
So Nick, have we figured out just who was that Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag? What do you think, Miss Powers? Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Well, Miss Windbag, I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks, guys. This poor sap.
Boy is sick and having to go through a murder trial.